pressure coming, and Perkins gets away, but now the ball's on the ground. Left, looking in trouble. He's sacked, and that's it. The Falcons are home. That's the key. There we go. Game on the line. A stumble. And from behind, he's taken down. And for the second straight year, the game ends on a sack.
Welcome to Coming Off the
Hello.
Edge. What's going on, guys? How are we tonight?
Hey, is Twitter these comments working yet?
Maybe.
It's just the normal show thing to talk about these days.
I don't
jokes
know,
getting
man.
old.
Nope.
I'm
Twitter's
tired of it.
Twitter's still no comments.
I mean, it's
Okay.
good for the YouTube viewership.
YouTube, so I'm posting that now. YouTube for comments.
Yeah. Drop in the YouTube channel. I guess it's on the Checklist TV channel, correct?
No, it's on our own Coming Off the Edge. It's youtube.com/the random letters until we get 100 subs. Then we could change it to Coming Off the Edge or COTE.
Or
COTE.
COTE.
Keep it short and sweet.
Other things, too.
But we got to worry about that. Yeah. So I don't know. I just posted on the Twitter.
Shit.
All right, so
I could go into it.
welcome in, everyone. Welcome into the Coming
I
Off
got
the
it.
Edge show. Corey has finally got it.
YouTube.com/INYJPVQB_CY.
Oh yeah, write
Perfect.
that down.
Oh,
Or
it's
just look up Coming Off the Edge on YouTube.
It'll pop
Yeah.
up.
It'll pop up. I don't think there are a whole
Good
lot
stuff
of.
if you looked up that on YouTube. I would imagine you'd find some creative things on
There
YouTube
might-
if you were to go
No,
ahead. and
that's a
look up that.
different
So if you're
website.
over 18,
That's a
look up
different
Coming
website,
Off
Jeff.
the Edge. on
We're talking
YouTube.
about YouTube.
I mean, I punched it in one day and I misspelled edge and I put wedge instead, and it was a great salad show
Oh, should we
Great.
pull it up?
coming off the
Ooh.
wedge.
Ooh, dude, wedge salads are elite.
Yeah, man, with the blue cheese and the
Oh, bacon bits.
yeah.
A little bit of diced tomato up on that wedge.
I mean, is that the go-to salad at a steak? I think it was a go-to
Cobb?
salad at the steak
Steakhouse?
restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
steakhouse.
steakhouse. I think you've got to go with the wedge salad. I
Steak
think that
wedge
house
or,
wedge.
or a Caesar?
a little bit lighter. Like I like a good
Caesar.
market salad. I'd like to go with that. I like a little
Fun
fruit
fact.
salad, but
Iceberg
Okay.
lettuce, not that nutritional.
There's
Oh,
like no,
yeah.
it's like water.
Zero.
Zero. Romaine lettuce, however.
Romaine is
Yeah.
nice.
Romaine
Boston
is very
bit.
nice.
Iceberg's good
Boston
for the
bit's great.
crunch, though, like on tacos or
Yeah.
a burger.
Well, that's why most restaurants do like a 50-50 of iceberg and romaine.
Yum. Good crunch, yeah.
You
Have
get the
you
crunch.
guys ever ordered a salad from like McDonald's, Wendy's, or any Burger King?
Oh, I used to
No.
get those.
Oh,
Wendy's
sorry,
sa-
Jeff. Well, besides Jeff, because he can't eat buns. Yeah, can I get a burger, no bun, please?
Dude, I used to eat the
I've
Wendy's
ordered
salads
that
all the
before.
time.
I've
Yo.
seen people order that.
Someone like the strawberry salad from Wendy's.
Hey, you guys want to hear something funny about burgers?
Sure.
I had a girlfriend who was a vegan in
Haha.
high school, and she'd go to McDonald's, and just to show off how
Bun
vegan
only?
she was, she would order a freaking bun only burger.
Oh my
I-
god!
And they look at her
I
like, wait a
kid-
minute, what are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, just lettuce, tomato, and mayo.
I kid you not. We used to
All right.
leave for lunch during high school, and we were allowed to leave. They didn't give us crap. We would go to McDonald's.
Crab.
Crap.
We didn't get crab, so we left and got McDonald's.
We didn't yeah,
Okay,
they
sorry.
weren't serving
Okay, sorry.
crab today at lunch, so we went to McDonald's.
Sorry,
What
sorry.
the hell high school did you go to?
High fashion. Okay, sorry. Okay.
No, but then it was my first encounter with someone that was vegan, and this is 25 years ago almost. We're talking.
Wow, that was the
showing my
first
age
one,
a little
actually.
bit. Yeah, it was my first encounter with
No,
it.
the
and-
first vegan.
And I get in line, and he's like, "Oh, I'll have a number 2, which was 2 cheeseburgers." He's like, "No meat." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Do they discount the burger, or you have to pay full price for that? Because you're
You have to
really
pay
just
full
paying for the
price.
meat. I mean, the bun and the cheese and the pickle, ketchup, and onion is very, very cheap."
Damn, now I want
so
some.
I saw something yesterday on a hack to go to Five Guys to get a free burger. And what you do is at Five Guys, because they come with 2 burgers, you ask for the toppings on the side and you ask for an extra bun. And a lot of them will give you a free extra bun. So you can take it home, and you can make your own. You can have two different burgers because you can construct it at home. You've got the 2 different buns.
That's
you got
cool.
your 2 different burgers. You split your burgers and you put your own toppings on. And it was a little hack that I saw yesterday. So randomly.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I want both patties on.
Yeah,
mine.
their patties are small. But
Yeah.
if you are on a budget and you need to feed a family of 2, you have a date and you're in high school.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
These are the type of things that I click on in the internet because that's just.
Yo,
what
I have
do, so, you know.
a Chick-fil-A hack. If apparently, I don't know if this is true.
Ooh.
Apparently, if you say "my pleasure" before they do, they will give you a cookie ice cream sandwich.
Ooh.
Shout out to Brad. Shout out to Corey. You know what I mean?
Shout
I don't
out.
know. It says apparently
So
if you
when
say
do
"my
say it-
pleasure,"
what if you just say it like walk in and say "my pleasure"? They just
that's
hand
what
you
I'm
a
gonna
sandwich?
do. I'm gonna go. Oh, I should go after the show. I'm gonna try it. I don't know, and I can report back.
Ooh. The
Yeah, do it.
Chick-fil-A dessert hack.
I like that.
Dude, again, I don't know. I saw it on like a video when I was scrolling like through Facebook. You get on those videos and you scroll. It just popped up like Chick-fil-A hack. Anyone else got any other hacks before we kick it off to some fantasy stuff? Chalk told me one about like an In-N-Out. Was it In-N-Out? Like a Neapolitan ice cream hack or something? I forgot it though.
Dude, In-N-Out, as far as I'm concerned, is trash. So.
Could have been Whataburger.
We don't really have those around here.
We just got them, dude. And when we got them, I'm not even kidding. People were waiting in line for 8 to 9 hours in the drive-thru.
Imagine
because
that
the inside wasn't open.
Ugh.
For
Imagine
In-N-Out.
Chick-fil-A drive-thru
Chick-fil-A
is
is-
breathtaking. The way they run that
Ridiculous.
oiled machine.
Oh man.
Well, they're
for
like, I
real.
don't think they're even.
Chick-fil-A.
letting people in. I don't know if they're transitioning the restaurant. That'd be. I told my wife that's what you should do. They should, especially because they have the drive-through down so good.
So good.
Transition the restaurant so you just can't even eat inside and just turn it back into like an old car hop where you just go around and get your food and go and you don't
No.
worry about
That's
cleaning
pretty much what
inside
it
and
is, man.
crap
It's the
inside,
fastest drive-through. Like
Wild.
it was
Yeah.
crowded and it was fast. I was amazed. I'm like,
Chick-fil-A
'cause you
got it
never
down.
want to go in when there's 20 cars in the line, but then like you see how fast it goes and they've got it down. Like, oh, you want this? You want that? Beep, bop, boop.
That seems to be most places these days.
Beep,
It's
bop,
much faster to go through the drive-through than to go inside.
I don't know. I waited 25 minutes at Starbucks behind 8 cars the other day, so
Well, that sounds awful. That's Starbucks though.
miserable.
I mean,
It's normal.
shout out COVID. I learned how to use the CVS pharmacy drive-through during COVID, and I taught my wife how to do it too. She didn't even know they
just
had a
pull up.
drive-through. Yeah.
Oh, to get your medicine?
Yeah, like why am I going to go inside to pick up my
Yeah, no, take the
prescriptions? Like,
drive-thru.
just go to the drive-through. There's like one person ahead of you.
Yeah, there have been some positives with COVID, and typically that's with positive tests too.
I mean, we're all here because of it.
no, that's right. We
That's
are here.
one.
That's
positive.
very true.
That's the only positive that I take out of it. That's
Yeah.
I've met you fine gentlemen, and the
Well, I
rest
like
of
the
Twitter.
CVS
Oh, buddy.
that hack too. That's nice.
I think
That's
we're
cute.
ultimately we're all working towards. I think the peak evolution of our species is going to kind of be like Wall-E when we just kind of sit in a chair and everything's taken care of for us. And I think Amazon and everything is just kind of putting us towards getting
Dude,
that.
they
to
got
that point.
beds
So it's
that lift
exciting.
you up.
The day and age that we live in now, it's the ability to not have to interact with people anymore unless that's what you want to do.
The less interaction, the better. I love that.
I like interaction.
Oh, but here
I
we are.
miss the social interaction actually.
Some
Good stuff.
hugs. I miss your hugs, guys.
Yeah, that's true. We all
Yeah.
give great
Good
hugs, don't
scan
we?
hugs.
Yeah.
But you know, we
Yeah.
love to say hello. We love to say goodbye. Let's talk about some fantasy football
about
and this
time, huh?
apocalypse that we've been
Ugh.
dealing
Apocalypse.
with
Nice.
for the next couple for the next 7 days. I guess we're going to talk about it. It's crazy. It's going nuts. Like everybody's flipping out. Like, why are you flipping out? It's one bye week.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you drafted them probably knowing they had the buys, right?
Right.
Yes. If you were
But-
smart about it, back when we
Ride the wave.
drafted, like you said, Jeff, I kind of snuck into first place this week, but I wanted to make sure that I won because I knew this bye week was coming up. And when I drafted, I made sure that they were all lined up on week 7. You know why? Because it's one loss. I will take my loss like a man. I will have enough players to fill my roster, but I'm going to lose. I'm not worried about it. But if I'm a 5-1 or a 6-0, I'm not going to worry about this one loss. I'm just going to take it on the chin and keep rolling. You guys, how do you guys feel? I mean, unless your league is like 2-4 or you're 1-5, that's a little if you can't do all that.
I had to make some moves in Scott Fish, otherwise I wasn't going to have enough players to start between injuries.
Man,
and
I got to look at
weeks.
that roster.
Yeah, I haven't looked either.
It was rough. It was
Happy
last
birthday,
week was
Scott.
my rough week. So
I won this week in Scott Fishbowl, and I didn't even break 100. So it was I had the second lowest score of the league of the week, but I won.
Isn't it great? Isn't it great when you go up against people who do like that too?
Yeah, it was great.
I love looking at the points for and points against of leagues. Like a 6-0 team could have like the third highest points, but like the lowest like points allowed, and you get some easy wins.
Shout out Chester Rogers for saving me.
Did he?
Of all people.
So for how much of fantasy football do you guys say is luck?
Oh, 75%.
75? Because what did Yogi Berra say about baseball? Like 10% is skill and 90% is whatever.
No, it's 50% physical, 90% mental.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just pulled that one out.
Luck, but I tend to believe you make your own. I mean, it's one thing that if you're still got to pit the guys that are going to be on the field. You got to get the guys that are going to be within scheme, things like that. Injuries are certainly going to blow you apart, but how you play the waiver wire, those type of things, I think you mitigate the luck as much as possible. But yes, any random thing can happen. I lost a matchup in a dynasty league. It was my first loss, and so my team is 5-1. And the other team, the reason why I lost was because they had to play Chris Evans, and he scored 15 points. And it was like their team was just decimated. They had to put Chris Evans in. They're kind of in a rebuild mode, and he scores 15 points, and I lost by I think it was like 10 points or something like that. So yeah, I mean, it's certainly, and I heard a story of somebody that they won a matchup because Elijah Penny scored a touchdown right at the end of the Giants game because their team was decimated. And that's the one thing about these dynasty leagues that we play in with the deep rosters. You get into some interesting scenarios, and I think it's interesting to me because
struggle.
Well, when you're in that redraft mindset and you're playing with smaller benches, the elite players make that big of a difference. But it does kind of seem like the dynasty, once you're digging in there and starting 10 guys a week, 11 guys a week, your ability to not have bad plays makes your team so much better in a dynasty format versus having just the elite top end talent. Certainly you want that too, but I think it's wild to me how that differentiates between league types.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, Dynasty is a totally different monster. Like if you're playing with rosters that are 32, I have a 48. I'm sure you guys have some deep leagues.
IDP?
Well, IDP. Yeah, 48 IDP.
You down with IDP?
No taxi slots. There's like different things that go on. No IR. I mean, 48-man roster. You don't have an IR. It's just it is what it is. I mean, if they go down, they go down. They sit on your roster. But I it's great. I love it. I love the fact that Dynasty helps me be better at redraft, even though my records don't show it this year in redraft. But
my redraft record,
like it gives me deeper insight on some players that are going to be coming out, some players that may hit before they hit, like Khalil Herbert or Demetric Felton hit a little bit earlier in the season. No one was on him. I wouldn't even have known about him if I didn't have to study for rookie drafts. Those are the kind of things that are exciting, and we love to watch those rookies that we dive into in May and draft to sit there and start hitting early, like a Jalen Waddle hit this week. Jamar Chase is ripping faces off. We saw Rashad Bateman this week get one more target than Marquise Brown.
Mac Jones has been the most efficient rookie quarterback in this class.
71%.
I mean, I think it's the most efficient system. That's why he's the most efficient. It's the most well-coached system as well.
For sure. What do you mean? Matt Nagy in Chicago is great.
Yeah.
He's such a great coach.
What about Kyle Shanahan?
Well, and I think the thing that I like about it too in Dynasty is that when you're playing redraft, like you have those guys that you want to hold, but you run out of room. And I know, and I think you guys can probably relate where like you're dialed in and your league mates are kind of playing off you. And so like you're making that decision of the guy that drops, and you know that somebody's in your league is going to grab him the moment you drop him. And so that's the one thing that I do love about Dynasty is like when you're on these guys, you're not having to give them up because of roster sizes or things like that and turn in to watch them blow up on somebody else's. Like I know like years ago, I had a situation where I had to give up Devonta Freeman and my buddy grabbed him immediately and he blew up as the Falcons back after Tevin Coleman got hurt. So like just stories like that, I think is just great. Go ahead, Corey.
Thank you. Piggy banking off that, I might need to drop KJ Hamler in a dynasty league that I'm in with Corey Luke in the chat, and I would hate that.
Why would you do that?
Well, because if that's like the worst player or quote unquote worst player on your team outside of Cordarrelle Patterson for dynasty value, it's like I may need to get a guy to help me win now. But like,
are you in? Well, that's the main question in dynasty, especially like into week 7. Are you a win now team?
Yeah, fourth most in the points scored.
All right, so you're fourth most. You're most likely going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll definitely try to trade, obviously, but you know how it is out there.
I mean, the reality of KJ Hamler, he's never going to be more than a wide receiver 3 in Denver.
Yeah, but what happens if Sutton doesn't resign or Font doesn't resign?
I don't think that affects it.
In all honesty, Nate, in all honesty, we really haven't seen what it would be like for all 3 wide receivers in that offense with Noah Fant, with a consistent quarterback and a running game, and a strong defense. We haven't seen the full package, and we won't until next year if they're all healthy.
We won't until next year.
Correct.
Patrick,
we won't next year either.
He coming back?
Patrick,
is he coming back?
I think he's going to be good for one more week until Judy
somebody's
shows up.
Going to sign him. Judy's going to,
unless they put the
week one it was the Judy show, and that kind of in camp with Bridgewater. That was the story, is the Judy show. And
I would love to see Tim Patrick go to Green Bay.
Yeah,
Tim Patrick is probably a starting NFL wide receiver
anywhere.
Not probably, most definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a reason
where he'd look good.
Anywhere.
Chicago,
New England, not Chicago. New England,
Chicago.
But see, that's the problem with New England. Like, they don't throw to the perimeter. So,
but Mac Jones can throw the perimeter.
What about Randy Moss?
He needs to.
He duplicates
Randy Moss,
Myers, I think, in that system.
You think?
I think their talent.
Except that Tim Patrick probably scores touchdowns.
What about New Orleans?
I don't hate that.
I mean we're getting into this NFL trade deadline, right? When is the NFL trade deadline?
November 5th.
We talked about that last week.
We talked about that last week.
Damn it, I try to be smart.
Damn it, I forgot.
When does Amari Rodgers emerge?
Never emerges as the Packers number 2.
I mean, if Lazard can't, MVS.
He's like this year's Denzel Mims, dude.
Yep. That's a good comparison.
They brought him in, and they're not even using him. They kind of they nuked him when they brought him in Cobb. Realistically, it was one of those that his plan for what Cobb was going to do. And I know they've got a relationship between the two of them. I think they've got like Cobb knows his dad or something like that. There's a story there. Yeah, there's a story there.
Amari?
Yeah. So, but anyways,
that's cool.
Yeah, his dad's T. Martin, so he's a Tennessee quarterback, USC coach. He's Baltimore's wide receiver coach.
Amari Rodgers?
Amari Rodgers' dad is T. Martin, and so he's the former national championship winning Tennessee quarterback, and so now he's Baltimore's wide receiver coach. But I think he knows Randall Cobb, and so there's a relationship there between the two of them. But they really brought him in to do kind of the things that they were using Tyler Ervin for last year, and that was not a fantasy relevant role. And so I don't know that I really get there on him being relevant, especially looking long term. If Rodgers is gone, whatever they're left with Jordan Love there, and in reality, if it is that Rodgers could be gone, Devontae Adams could be gone too.
Randall Cobb will definitely be gone if
Randall
Rodgers
Cobb
is
will
not
definitely be gone.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a wait-a-year situation.
But it's one of those that maybe if everything falls apart, I mean, that might be the Lions' offense, like that with those wide receivers. I just don't think Rodgers is a special player.
That's a good question.
You don't think Aaron Rodgers is special?
Amari Rodgers.
I know. Just I got you.
That's a good question. Like for dynasty purposes, we'll keep it on dynasty. Are we interested in? I would more say selling or trading away our dynasty shares of the Packers while they're hot and heavy before the dynasty trade deadlines this season to avoid whatever nonsense is going to happen next season in 2022. Like, is now the time to do it while they're progressing? Because everybody wanted them. Like, Aaron Jones started gaining more value. Devontae Adams has more value. Even Aaron Rodgers maintained his value because he's on the field. What are we going to do, and when do we pull the trigger on those dynasty players to get ahead of the 2022 season if you're not in win now mode?
I mean, if you want to get out, anytime with veteran guys, you got to now is the time to get out. I always feel like, especially coming up the deadline, that's when you need to get out on veteran guys. So if you're going to decide that's going to be the move, I don't know that I'm ready to write off Adams, even if Rodgers is gone. I could see a situation where if he's there for one more year, or if he goes to a new team, but one more year, I could see Jordan Love just peppering him as a safety blanket and his production being okay, because they already do that anyways. But certainly it's not going to be Devontae Adams again without Aaron Rodgers. You don't know how it's going to play out is the thing. But yes, if you want to get out, now's the time to get out.
And of course, comes down to, are you contending?
I knew Jeff
could you use Jones? It's just like the classic dynasty thing. Win now, go for it. If you're not, take the 1 year pivot. Maybe next year, let's say Adams and Rodgers do leave. I still probably would like Aaron Jones. Like, you still got to bet on the talent, especially.
I don't know. Would you though? Because AJ Dillon has been eaten into his target share this year.
They have, but he's been used more kind of when they've been winning, and they're just giving him the ball. And Aaron Jones is still balling out regardless, so that's cool. But you are right. Will they get him more involved? I'm not too sure. I wish we had our contract specialist here to see the details within that 4-year extension. I'm sure it's probably front-loaded, so that's this season and next season. And, of course, Jordan Love, you talking about wanting to pepper a guy. Maybe Jones gets peppered with some targets because he's just talented.
That's definitely a fair point.
Maybe. I have no idea. I mean, again, it's a good thing to say. If you just want to get out, you're probably going to have to get out now, because a win now team will pay up to get Aaron Jones. He's balling out. Devontae Adams, he's balling out. And, of course, Rodgers. Wherever they go, the talent will prevail and win out. So Rodgers will be good next year. Adams will be good. Jones is there. We know that.
He's got a potential out, Aaron Jones.
In
2023.
Potential
out. So he's got one more year.
Okay.
It's a $6.5 million dead cap if they let him go.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's a decent amount.
It's a medium amount.
It's a medium amount. I don't think it's a big amount.
But if you don't have Rodgers, you don't have Adams, like, what's a $6.5 million dead cap hit if you're not even competing?
Right.
But I think the Packers are one of those franchises that they are never not competing in their mind.
Fair.
They're the type that they don't want to rebuild. And I think some teams are comfortable going through that process. The Packers are the type that I don't believe that they are. And so, but we don't know. Jordan Love could be good.
We don't know.
I mean, you don't know, and that's the random wild card that's hanging out there, because we certainly saw it with Aaron Rodgers. He comes right in and he's productive right away, and I don't believe that be the case. If I were betting, I wouldn't lean that way, but you don't know what's going to happen, and so, and I tend to the whole contender pretend like. I kind of push back a little because I think in Dynasty, if you're rebuilding for 3 years, you're just bad at Dynasty. I feel like, because things can switch
1 year pivots
so fast, and
what happens if you pick up an orphan or something like that? That's different.
If you're completely decimated, that's one thing.
Okay,
I have an orphan like that.
Yeah, and certainly an orphan. Yeah, people are going to leave it in that state probably, and they've reached the point of hopelessness and they've moved on. But I do tend to believe that if it's a 3-4 year process, I just think you're doing a poor job.
Yeah, it should just take the 1 year pivot.
It really should.
Rodgers, I mean, I feel like the relationships bridges are burned.
Yeah, it's over.
It's done. It's over.
Did the contract said, like, did they revise it where he can pick where he's going next year?
You mean a trade clause?
Like, wasn't there something about in the Aaron Rodgers contract that like?
Yeah, I think he has an out after this season.
I think he negotiated.
Oh, for sure.
For himself, yeah. And then again, like Jeff was saying, we don't know what's going to happen next year, but I think all that we know is Jordan Love would at least get the opportunity to be the guy based on their history. 2 quarterbacks in the last 30-something years?
Wild. Yes.
Insane. So, I mean, who knows? Jordan Love may be the guy. Dude, here's Brett, our contract specialist. 4 years, 30 million signing bonus, no more guaranteed money. Oh, okay. And that out, like Chev said, in 2023. So maybe 1 more year of Jones. Maybe they built that in for, like, if Jordan Love's not that guy for that 1 year, we could kick the tires on Jones and restart. I don't know. We also don't know nothing as just people. We're not like in the organization. And
they have a potential out. They have a potential out. It's. I think he has a potential out. More importantly,
dude, shout out
to find.
Where is he going?
I don't see the trade clause thing though.
I don't see it either.
Denver.
I
Wait,
feel like
no
he's
trade
going to.
clause? Who has no
I've-
trade clause? Oh,
No one.
Rodgers.
I said I didn't see one on the contract.
I just remember hearing stuff about like, oh, if Rodgers comes back and plays, they'll have something in writing in the language saying like he gets to decide where he's like traded to or whatever.
I mean, that was the agreement. I think coming back, I'm sure of signing the contract and
Yeah,
opting back.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. But like, is it like in
some
paper?
flexibility?
I don't. They don't really accentuate those details to us.
No,
when those things are when those things go down in those contracts. It's like the fine print that we don't get to hear.
It's a big difference. Like I'm a big NBA fan too, and the NBA, like all the money's guaranteed, but there's so many different triggers in contracts that you understand all these different things. Like everybody can read them. Like the NFL, it just doesn't seem like you don't know, and it's all just kind of funny money, and they move it around and they make cap room if they need to do it, and creative accounting, whatever else it might be. And so we don't exactly know. You're right.
Hey, as long as they're having fun.
Right? I just hope everybody has fun.
They got good cheese out there.
Miami's not having fun right now.
Oh.
How long do you guys think Brian Flores stays in Miami?
I think they give him the end of this season. They see it's a mess and he's gone.
He's
for
a good
he
coach,
makes
too.
it
I
to
like
the end
I
of the
like
season.
he has that spunk, man.
For
like
organization,
he's on the field sweating and fighting for them, although he's on the sideline.
How much?
But if you're fighting for them, but they're still not winning, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Well,
so that's,
and it
think it's
sounds
all
like
his
the
fault,
team is
though?
checked out. Yeah, well, the stories around the team, it sounds like they've checked out. Sounds like there's dissension in the locker room, that guys are just kind of, and we've seen it with Belichick assistants before, that, the Patriot way is the Patriot way, and it's not transferable. It's just, you're not Bill Belichick. You're not,
players
Tom
too.
Brady's gone there. So
Besides him,
you don't have the buy-in. You're trying to rebuild and bring different guys in and buy into that, and they're not buying into the mystique of Bill Belichick. They're buying into this dude that's kind of being mean to him. So I don't know. It's one of those.
Do you think they missed their calling by not drafting a running back earlier this season or last season?
The Dolphins.
I know they had those. Yeah,
I thought they were
Yes.
going to, but again,
I thought they were
did
going to
too.
take Najee for sure.
I thought
really
they were
did.
going for Najee, and they did not.
I'm
They
so
went-
glad they didn't either.
Are you
I
though?
mean, he's not better
Yeah.
off in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a mess.
Pittsburgh's a mess. Like, how much better would that offense have been if Najee Harris was there?
I think there's more long term. Miami's going to be a mess for a while. Pittsburgh could turn this ship around next season because they have the pieces to do it. Miami does not.
No.
Yes,
no.
they do.
They need to rebuild their
What,
entire
Dwayne
offensive line and a
Haskins?
new quarterback.
I mean, the offensive line, and they'll get a quarterback in the draft.
And
Or
that's
through
going to
free
help them because we've
Dude,
seen all these
maybe-
rookie quarterbacks do so well this year.
all right.
Fair point.
Names.
Fair point.
So, names. I don't buy that. I don't buy they'll get a quarterback. You give me a name of who they're
Yeah.
going to get in the draft, because that's how I operate. And certainly I know
Well,
you're not
this-
Debbie
you
Kai
know,
and
more-
whatnot.
you're right. I'm not. I know a few names.
I just
Don't say
don't-
Spencer
I'm
Rattler.
The
Don't
fourth
do it.
round
Don't
rookie,
do it.
Jeff.
That's how I don't like the find a quarterback, and it's like, okay, give me a name, because
That's a fair point. I just feel like the organization,
Watson?
they're one of those organizations that they're never rebuilding.
you're right.
They're
you're right.
always
They-
in
they
win now
do-
mode.
Watson?
And they always, I don't hate that. I don't know
You
why they
think
didn't.
scared?
I thought they should have brought Cam Newton in. I still think they should consider bringing Cam Newton in.
I wonder
they
if that
won't
could
They
do
be
that
committed
while
this
Brooks
year
is
to
there,
Big
though.
Ben.
I wonder if
Unless
that would be the type of organization that Aaron Rodgers would sign up for, and say,
That might very well.
know,
be.
with all
I
those
could see
weapons,
Rodgers in
"No,
this.
I've got talent here. We can go in and win."
It would
How
be
that
one of the
would-
most talented wide receiver rooms he's ever had.
That would blow
Ooh.
up Najee stock, something ridiculous.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
That would probably, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers signs in Pittsburgh next year, Najee Harris would have to go into next year as the dynasty running back one, I would think.
And Deontay Johnson would be a
Yes.
top 5 wide receiver.
Dude.
Oh, easy.
Claypool. I mean,
That'd
Juju.
be cool. I
You
like
think
this. It's like
Pittsburgh-
fantasy football.
Right? Fantasy. It's like we're setting up our own Madden
Oh,
franchises.
gross,
Do-
Brad. Come on.
Do you think?
Yeah,
Fantasy
Brad. I
times
love
two.
you.
No,
buddy.
Brad.
No.
Whoa, Brad. No, he's the Giants franchise quarterback. I don't care how bad he is. He's staying in New York.
You know what? He's not bad when freaking Saquon Barkley's healthy.
Well, he hasn't had a team, and that's always going to be the
Tony-
case because we can't keep guys on the field.
But Tony's hurt
Shepard's
too.
back.
For now.
Galladay, is he coming back this week?
No,
No.
he's not. He's not
I
playing.
think
No.
Galladay's dust.
I think they're
don't
going to
Oh.
put Galladay on IR after
One
I
of the
go, of
worst
course, they win the bid
contracts
on
in
his
the
jersey.
NFL right now.
You-
Galladay?
Yes. Who knows why they did that?
4 years, what, 70-something million?
Pressure.
It was a bad signing. It really was.
It
Terrible.
was media pressure. They are an organization that listens to what the media is saying, and when you're doing that, you're not going to be a winning organization.
Box.
I mean, you think they would know that Daniel Jones can't really just hit the post route in the open field when he's getting rushed. And now we have Andrew Thomas that's going on IR too. So, like, what's our O-line going to do?
Pick, right?
Like, come on, man. Yeah, first round pick, Andrew Thomas, number 5 overall.
2019, 2020?
2020, I believe it was. But, like, I don't know what you're going to do. Kadarius Toney is very promising, and there was a lot of people that were talking, saying that he was nothing, that we shouldn't have taken him where we took him in the draft. And guess what? They are eating crow right now. They are not saying anything bad. You can't say anything bad, even though he only played 6 snaps. He already had 3 catches for 30-something yards.
Dude, he looks
and
good.
He made that back look silly. And I look forward to more time with him in the offense. I think Darius Slayton, kick him off to the side. If you own him in Dynasty, he's dust. All right, just get rid of him. And there's an open roster spot for whatever you need this week on waivers.
Show's over.
That's what it is. I think they have some building blocks, but it's going to be a long time. And I hate to point the finger, but everybody always used to say it's Garrett's fault. It's Jason Garrett. It's Jason Garrett. And I was trying to defend him because he was good in Dallas, but it may be Jason Garrett, and it also may be the fact that Saquon Barkley's never on the field for a complete season. If he's the focal point of your offense is not going anywhere.
Right.
Do you think they go ahead, Corey?
Hey, I had my hand raised. If you want to talk, you got to raise your hand. Sorry. I had a thought. So you know how we said if you're rebuilding in Dynasty and it's 3 to 4 years, like you're trash. How does that translate to the NFL? How many years do you give an NFL team to rebuild? Maybe like the Bears with Pace and Nagy before it's like you guys are done. We're saying 2 years.
Exactly, 2 years.
Okay. 2 seasons. You get 2 seasons to at least make a difference, to go from a losing record to maybe get your team to 500 and show that you're making ground.
They look, they got Salah, they got some pieces.
Salah gets this year, next season, and we'll see what he does. I think Kyle Shanahan has passed his window in San Francisco.
Well, I think it used to be we had this notion in our mind where it was like a multi-year rebuilding process, and you had to allow the quarterback to grow and develop, and you had to but I think you look at 2 teams, you look at Buffalo and you look at Cleveland, and while Cleveland has not had the season that they wanted to have, we obviously saw them at the cusp of the AFC Championship game last year. But what Buffalo's done is, they turn that thing around in 2 years. You're exactly right. If you hit on the quarterback, if you hit on a couple other key pieces, if you are able to turn that depth, you're able to keep moving through these guys and finding some players. You sign a couple of veterans in free agency, you treat that right. Buffalo did it with their safeties, and they got Poyer and they got Micah Hyde in free agency, and it turned their defense around immediately with them on the back end. Then they've hit it on a couple earlier picks with Trey White. They hit with Josh Allen, and yes, you've got 2 years. If you hit that quarterback pick and you hit other couple elite players in there, you're going to be right there. And if you're not doing those types of things, then there's serious questions. And one more point on the Giants, I think it's interesting that kind of what we're seeing with the league transitioning in the wide receiver room is playing out in the Giants, where it's kind of going away from these bigger body guys to more like these quicker guys like Tony that can create in space, whereas Galladay is kind of getting phased out of the league a little bit. And so I think it's interesting just on that team, because we're seeing that in the entire league, I think, to some degree. And so it's just
I think it has a lot to do with being able to create more separation than the guy next to you, and with I want to say like average QB with his consistency and accuracy. He's not the most accurate quarterback. You need to give him a little extra space. I think that's why the slot receivers last year, Golden Tate was big for him in the end zone on a couple games. Shepard was alive last year when he was able to throw him open a little bit more, and they had the speed to keep up with him. And that's why Kadarius Toney's a great fit. Marvin Jones, Kenny Galladay is not that guy. He's a post route guy. All right. He's going to go out to the post. He's not going to make a lot of crossing routes, and he doesn't get hit with the ball. He needs to create space, and that's not what he's going to do. He's obviously dealing with a hamstring injury after leg injury after knee injury, all connected to his dumb bone. But like that's like what's going on right now in in and around the league, in almost every team. Like if you think about it, look at Jalen Waddle, look at Jacoby Myers. Those slot receivers are a lot more valuable now, especially for fantasy purposes, than people originally thought. Everybody always, the big wide receivers, the big alphas that catch the touchdowns. If you're playing in PPR or even half-point PPR, those slot receivers that see that attention, that can create separation. Rondelle Moore is another one. He's going to be big. Maybe not so much this year, but what happens after AJ Green's contract? What happens if they don't sign Christian Kirk to an extension? Like those are the kind of players that you want to target now. Like I sold a quarterback for Rondelle Moore in a league that, like I said, it was an orphan. I need players. I want to go out and get stud wide receivers, not for this year, but for the future, and watch them develop. And that's one way you do it. You start selling players that you're not going to use in the next 2 or 3 years because you're not going to win. You're not going to win. And that's what dynasty is. But to get back on the wide receiver edge, that's what the league's becoming. Same thing with the running backs. We don't see a lot of workhorse running backs anymore. We see more running back by committees, or we have a running between the tackles guy, and then we have a satellite back guy or a third down back guy. But no, a lot of them have this a full skill set. Khalil Herbert, great example. Most people think he came out of nowhere. No, he was a great in between the tackle runner, and he had the ability to catch the ball. Those are the kind of players. Those are the kind of players that we're looking at. Elijah Mitchell, same thing. Like Javonte Williams, great example. He's going to melt faces next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go out and get another player to help him along, because it's a long season and they need all the help they can get. And we see Cleveland dealing with that kind of a problem right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, so long-winded.
No, you're good, man. But the other point too, on the wide receiver point, is these athletic quarterbacks, and it's not so much that the accuracy issues, because certainly Patrick Mahomes is incredibly accurate, but a guy like, I don't want to rip Lamar Jackson because we've seen he can make the throws, but
sometimes
it's not so much that the guys can't make the throws, don't have accuracy. It's that they're doing these things on the run and they're moving all the time, and so what you kind of moving away from a guy like, and I look at Baltimore's wide receivers, and I like Rashad Bateman, and I'm a guy that I like him, but at the same time, the way that they play, when you've got Lamar on the move, when he's not on platform, he's not planting his feet and throwing the ball, Hollywood Brown is able to get open and create that separation. And so that's where I kind of defer on still the experience as well, but having seen the ability to make the plays, but also that ability to create the separation to give Lamar Jackson that little bit of extra space, as opposed to a guy that's a little bit bigger bodied guy that's not going to be operating those type of things. And it's just one of those that, as everything moves in the offense, everything moves in the offense. And so you don't have these quarterbacks as much anymore. Ben Roethlisberger is like a ghost of what used to be a quarterback, standing back there and able to stand on platform, deliver the ball to a guy that can fight for that position. And that's when you look at the Giants, and when you're preaching to your young quarterback, don't throw the ball into areas that it's going to be intercepted. Don't create turnovers. But also, we want to throw it to Kenny Galladay, who's going to be fighting for the ball in among
50-50
defenders.
ball.
It's one of those that it's that tug pull. And when you're the bullets are flying, you're kind of going off instinct. And so, Tony's certainly the guy to have in the Giants. And just it's one of those things that when you're looking at fantasy wide receivers, think about what the quarterback's doing, think about what the offense is going to be asking guys to do, and think about what that wide receiver is going to be able to do.
I love you, Jeff. I really do.
Wisdom every time.
We could probably continue this for like another 2 hours, just talking about separation versus the 50-50 ball. That was a great conversation. But seriously, I think it's about time we switch gears, unless anybody else has anything to throw into.
No, I want to talk about cookies.
Okay, let's talk about some cookies.
We got to set our ground rules. Cookies
there's ground rules,
like store-bought. We talking Oreos, Chips Ahoy.
Let's just go free range.
Cookies.
Free range. That's how I like my cookies. Free range cookies.
Free range cookies.
USDA grass-fed free range cookies. Jeff, I put you first.
So, golly, this is a tough place to be.
I'm a cookie
right
guy
now.
too.
I'm going to
I don't like
a nice warm out of the oven chocolate chip cookie.
No, that's what I wanted.
That is the 101 of 101 of 101s of cookies.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, fine. Piggy bacon off that. Again, I need it out of the oven. I'm going a chocolate chip, but with peanut butter cookie.
And that was my 102. God damn it.
Let's go.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna get generic here and go with the double stuffed Oreo.
Nice.
Yeah, that was in consideration.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I'm waiting to hear from my GM about the name of the cookies she makes at Christmas every year.
Whoa! You're cheating?
No, I just don't remember. I don't remember the name of the cookie she makes, and they're the best freaking.
I know what the
cookies
name
on
of it
earth.
is. Come on, don't wait for the text. You're on the clock here. Tick, 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 tick,
Tick, tick, tick. Hold on, she's responding. I see three
No.
dots.
Put the phone down. Let's go. Come on.
Peanut
you're on
butter
air.
blossoms.
Oh, okay.
Peanut butter
Okay.
blossoms.
All right.
They get a. You know what I'm talking about with the Hershey Kiss in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay.
My wife will
Those are
do
good
that.
ones.
She does them gluten free, and they're delicious.
No, they're
She's got 'em, bro.
fantastic.
You can't
So-
eat those.
My next one is going to be peanut butter chip cookies.
Just peanut butter cookies.
Just peanut butter chip.
I mean, same thing.
All right. Now I don't know what I want to do.
There's so much options, dude. I only
So
have
many
3 left.
options. What about the Pepperidge Farm Milano cookies?
Those are pretty good. We
Shout
just
out to
threw a
Milano.
stale bag
Oh,
of those
shit, I'm
away.
right.
Yeah, they're only good for like a day or two.
Yeah.
Everything- that's
Ours
good
were
stuff.
like a year old.
Ooh,
Yeah, not good.
TMI.
Whoa.
Cool.
All right, I'm up. I'm gonna take snickerdoodles.
Damn it!
Oh,
I
not
thought they would
bad.
Come back. Damn it! Oh, Corey's using the internet. My bad.
Using
I
the
forgot.
internet. My mom makes those. They're pretty delicious.
I'm gonna go with a monster cookie.
What's that?
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
The monster cookie, it's like kind of a little bit of everything.
The kitchen sink one.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's like there's a little bit of oatmeal, of chocolate chips, like some M&Ms, like a little bit of everything in there.
Okay. So like a junk drawer cookie.
Yeah, more or
Kitchen
less.
sink.
Yeah.
Kitchen sink
Yeah.
cookie.
And then my next one, I will go with just the classic, the buttercream, just iced cookie.
Oh wow! Like the ones you get for those seasonal ones, and they change
From
it
the,
up.
grocery,
like-
from the grocery store with the sprinkles on them.
Cheryl's cookies.
The
you guys have
can
Cheryl's
of cookies?
Those are fucking good, bro.
Mhm.
Bros.
The cut out holiday ones, that kids decorate, those type of things.
Yeah, dude. Nice. Oh, I'm up. What's I want the one that has like the strawberry filling in the middle. I don't know what it's called.
I know what you're talking about.
Like it
though.
has like a little couple swirls on that bad boy, and then it's strawberry filling.
Yep.
in there. I want that one. I don't know what it's called though.
Oh man.
It's not like Chef or Nate. You're gonna pick the same cookie, right? So I'm just gonna put.
Yeah.
Probably
I don't even know if
not.
it's strawberry. It could be cherry. To be honest, it's the red filling. You know what I mean? It's in that tin that like you always get
Mhm.
from your aunt. It has a couple of random ass cookies. I love that one.
All right. That's great. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
All
The whatever red filling.
right. I wouldn't be Italian if I didn't do this, and it's the biscotti.
Oh.
For those Americans out there, biscotti.
Biscotti.
Biscottis. Yeah, no, it's BISCOTTI. Biscotti.
That's what I have.
Biscotti.
Yeah, duh.
Delicious. And holiday, not holiday. Dip them in your coffee, dip them in your Baileys, dip them in your cognac, whatever the hell you want, dip them anywhere you want.
If
Put
you're
'em in
under
your mouth.
21,
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. If you're under 21, you tip them in coffee.
or if you're overseas or in Mexico, under 18?
Yeah.
yeah. International waters.
Does it matter?
We have some fans. We know you're watching.
Okay, so I'm kind of mad because someone in the chat took the one that I was gonna say, so now I feel like I can't say it.
Oh yeah, do it, dude. Like
Because dude, I just ate a bag of those yesterday.
I was waiting to pull the
Keebler
comment
Elf.
up. Yeah, those are good, dude. I used to
Dude,
love
they're
those.
so good.
I forgot
They're
about
so
those.
good.
With
I'm
the
giving
Keebler
myself
Elf or whatever on it, right?
Yeah, the
then it
little
has
like
the chocolate on the back, right?
Yeah,
It's got the chocolate on the back. It's
Those
the
are so
circle. There's a little hole in the middle.
Yeah,
And it's got the fudge stripe. Yeah.
Yeah.
fudge stripe
Gosh, crap.
Keebler elf.
Do we end it at 3 or are we going 4?
I think we.
Well,
can
I'd like
end
to
it.
go another one. I
Oh,
mean,
Jeff
I've got
wants to
one
keep
that I really
playing.
want.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so wait, I have to go
A
twice.
little bit of time.
Oof.
All
So
right.
are
Let's
the
go 4.
chewy
I've got one.
chewy Chips Ahoy the same as saying chocolate chip? No, they're not.
Yeah, because it's
That's
chewy.
different. That's branded the Chips Ahoy.
It's
yeah, that's
chewy. Yeah.
Dude, when we were in Canton, we all got back to our Airbnb one night with Seth and Katie and Jed, and Katie had brought a whole big thing of them.
Katie
and I
seems like she would, dude.
Dude, I swear to God, Seth,
She's
Katie,
got
and the 4 of us stood in that kitchen and ate almost the entire package.
Good.
They were so good. Drunk snacks.
the kitchen conversations we're good at.
Yeah, they got interesting in a good way.
I liked our conversations, Jeff and Dave, if you're watching, and Steph. All right, Chef, you're up.
I'm up again.
You is.
I wasn't prepared for another round.
I know. I don't know. I got mine though.
All right. Well, you know what? Then I'm going to think outside the box.
Taco Bell.
How about the chocolate chip cookie cake? Can I do
Sure.
that?
Sure.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
You know,
Big,
Dairy
giant
Queen-
chocolate cookie.
Quad C's, dude.
Oh,
as
I
we
got
call it in
what
the
you're
street.
talking about. Okay. Yep.
The giant.
I'm surprised no one has, to be honest, CJ L. But I'm not here either.
Oh, okay. Wait. Take mine back.
No!
Take mine back.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Clear it. Narrate. Because now I'm ready.
Oh.
Now I'm ready.
Ban Corey Luke from the show. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. I mean,
That's bogus.
I'm not happy.
yeah.
I'm
Give me
not
some
happy.
Thin Mints,
This
bro.
is-
Give me some
This
Thin
is
Mints.
table talk, and I am not happy.
Love it, Corey. Appreciate you, Corey Luke. Thank you.
All right. I'm still not taking one. I'm going white chocolate macadamia nut cookies.
Okay, so
Ooh,
get my
those are
pick.
good. I love it.
I can't believe I didn't think of that by myself.
I don't like Girl Scout cookies. I've never been a fan. I'm surprised no one's picked
dude.
that
You
yet.
put them in the freezer.
Obviously
Yes.
not fourth
God.
round,
It's
dude.
not even the best Girl Scout.
Fourth
cookie.
round.
The best Girl Scout cookie is the tag along cookie. The peanut
tag
butter
ones.
dipped in chocolate is the best Girl Scout cookie.
Which one?
Yeah, duh.
The tag along. There you
Yep.
go. There you go.
Yeah, you guys are wild for not picking those earlier. I'm not a fan of Girl
I
Scout
did
What's the
cookies.
one with the
it-
coconut and the chocolate? Those are good too. I know they
Coconut-
used to be called Samoas.
Samoas.
They used to be
Oh.
called Samoas. I don't think they're called Samoas anymore.
They're not. They
I don't
changed the
think-
names
I don't
of all
hate
their
any
cookies.
flavor more than coconut. Like, coconut is my least favorite.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
not a
then-
big
then
fan.
that's a
Mine
biased
too.
opinion.
Mine too, but actually in some desserts, it's fantastic. But
I've yet to find
don't put coconut shrimp on my plate.
Coconut's
Probably
so
three.
good.
I mean,
Oh,
there's like
actually.
macaroons and stuff
dive.
like
I was
that.
on
Like
an
I
macaroons
wanted
are
to
good.
pick macaroon, but I went with my.
Dive into the sea and see what happens.
I had a
kinda went off the
macaroon
rails.
for the first time like 3 months ago.
Oh, they're
so
delicious.
They're
They are
really
delicious.
good.
Yeah.
Shout out Costco.
Dude, I just got the chicken pot pie from Costco. Do we all have Costco memberships?